Happy Saturday. I can't believe it. We're in our 8th week. This is our final week of instruction. You guys have all done amazingly on your observations. And I know you've all learned a lot that, like I said, you can take with you going forward in your careers. This week, we are going to read one chapter. It's the final chapter within our textbook, and it is chapter 15, which is titled Using the Portfolio for Communication with Families and Looking at Child's Interactions with Adults. So it talks a little bit about communication with families, how families can get involved in your center, parenting, communicating, volunteering, school decision making. If they sit on a board, they can, voice their opinions, and then of course collaborating with the community. We go into a guide for all communications with families, talks a little bit about personal and being positive and discipline as well. And then our ethical responsibilities to families. So we want to make sure that we're collaborating with the family because obviously the family is the child's first teacher. We want to collaborate with them. We want to get their knowledge of what they've seen so far, and then be very considerate and respectful to them. There's types of written communication that you want to know about and read about this week. And it's family handbook, newsletters, happy notes, documentation panels, traveling journals, technology, email, blogs, websites. These are all types of written communication. And then we go on to portfolios. A lot of us know about these portfolios. Who can see it? So basically, what is in it and who can see it? So contributors are the child, the families, the teachers, the staff that work with the children, previous teachers, and referral agents are all people who will be able to input information into the portfolio. And then who can actually read the portfolio? Families can read them, practitioners, which are their doctors, community agencies, and the child. So you're not going to show these portfolios to anybody but those people. Formal sharing of portfolios. Well, you can share the portfolios however you'd like. I personally use them at our conferences. So during progress reports, I pull out and you can see where the child is from day one and how they've progressed. Let's see, and then we go on to, I'm looking through all my notes here, talks more about tips for family conferences. So make sure you read those. They have some great tips on how to conduct conferences. And then after that, what do you do with the progress reports? It talks about that. What do you do with the portfolio, I should say? What do you do with all this information? What do you do with the class files and the reflective journals at the end of the year? So make sure you take a look at that. And then lastly, it looking at the child's interaction with adults. So how observation and recording the child-adult interactions, what role that plays, and what the teacher role plays in the child's guidance. And it talks about preparing the environment. It talks about having realistic expectations for that child, and so forth. So go ahead and read through chapter 15. And then as you can see, I have pulled up module 8. So this video obviously will be embedded in this module for you. But this week, to be successful, you will review the video that you're reviewing right now. You're going to read chapter 15. You're going to look at the PowerPoints for chapter 15, and then you can take your quiz for chapter 15. And that is due by Friday the 7th. And then the final exam. The final exam is a multiple choice 75 question quiz, or exam, I should say. It is due by Friday the 8th as well. And I have given you a study guide to utilize. What I would do with that study guide is print it out, make all my notes on it. The final exam covers chapter 8 through 15. It's only that second half of the textbook. So make sure you make little notes so it's easy for you to go through it. I have extended the time. It's normally 1 hour to take this exam. I put it for 2 hours, which is 180 minutes. So you have 2 hours to complete. Once you start, you need to finish it, and there is only one chance to submit it. There's not multiple submissions allowed for your final exam. So let me go back to our module. There is no discussion this week. I want you to go ahead and have time to go over your final. So let's go back to Module 8 here. So here are your PowerPoints under your PowerPoints tab. Video, this is a great video. It's observing and monitoring physical motor development in preschoolers and the importance of assessments. So we talk about portfolios and assessments in our chapter, and then this is a great video to go hand in hand with that chapter. Then under quiz, chapter 15, just like you already do, you have 2 chances worth 10 points, due Friday. And then we have some professional resources if you'd like to download those. Under this caption is a final exam. Again, it's chapters 8 through 15. Here is a study guide. I have listed every key term that's on the final. So if you make little notes on your study guide, you are going to do wonderfully on your final. And then your final, you just click here, and again, it's 75 points, and it's due August 7th. And then we have an end of course survey. It's not worth any points, but it is open. If you would like to complete the end of the course survey, that would be wonderful. It helps me for future students. And then if you have any questions, again, you can just click on this. And that is it for this week. Thank you all for a wonderful class, and I'll touch bases with you at the end of the week.